The church gives men nothing. They give you one tool, servant leadership.
Right.
And the answer is always, if something's going wrong, double down on servant leader. That's like, spend more time with your kids, or, buy your wife more flowers or something like that. That's essentially the one tool they equip you with. It's not like in the past where Joshua could say, as for me and my house, we'll serve the Lord. Men today basically can't boss their wives around. They don't really have authority in the home because, again, we live in an egalitarian society. So if men are going to be successful as husbands and fathers, they need to be able to use influence and interpersonal skills in the home to be able to do that, which you call the leadership model.
Because society doesn't back them up legally.
Right. So you don't have the authority that you used to have. So you have to act as an influencer. And generally, let's be honest, interpersonal skills are generally not most men's forte.
Right.
You even see a lot of writing in the secular press that one reason men have fallen behind in society is because we've shifted from this more physically oriented blue-collar occupations to services that require a lot more interpersonal skills, and men have just lagged in developing those. Women just have had those skills much more, and are much more adapted to the current economy. So your expectations for the church puts on husbands and fathers are enormous. They have few tools, in society to use, and the church doesn't equip them with any tools. And so I believe that is one of the biggest roots of why men have turned to the secular men's guys like Jordan Peterson and this vast array of others on the internet, because they are offering men tools.
How to?
Here's some tools you can use for your life. So for example, there's a large group of different types of people, you would call it the red pill guys on the internet. So the MGTOW people are part of that, the pickup artists are part of that, the men's rights people are part of that. There's a Christian subculture of that. And it's very, very, it's kind of a loose term. But what do they equip men with? They equip men with essentially a model of the world, of relationships between men and women that, they're more or less deriving it from Darwin. It's evolutionary psychology based explanation of how men and women work. And then they have essentially a library of techniques that they tell you how to use. They would call it game. Game is their, it could mean that like someone's got game, just like anybody using any other thing, but it's also their library of techniques that you can use in the appropriate situations to essentially manipulate or influence the outcome, whether that's true or not, or whether they're accurate or not, or whether they're being used for good or negative purposes or not. They're actually saying, here is a set of tools, men, that you can use to, you could use
get what you want.
You could use it to seduce women. You could use it to get a job. You could use it to stay happily married. There's all these different subcultures. Jordan Peterson is not part of that group, but he's like, here's a model of the world. Here's how and why it works. Here's how you should think about it. And here are things that you can and could do to essentially orient yourself and take action within it. There's nothing. The church gives men nothing. They give you one tool, servant leadership.
Right.
And the answer is always, if something's going wrong, double down on servant leader. That's like, spend more time with your kids, or, buy your wife more flowers or something like that. That's essentially the one tool they equip you with.
One screwdriver.
And a model of the world that basically says, you're to blame for everything. That's essentially their model of the world, is you're probably the problem. As one Christian book about marriage put it, men, you're the problem. Women are not the problem. Your wife is not the problem. You're the problem. If you want to change the marriage, change the marriage. So you're the problem. It's all about you. And your only tool you get is servant leader. Mm-hmm. And in the meantime, all the secular guys are saying, here is a wide range of other tools that we will equip you with to live life however you want to do it. Usually some sort of Nietzschean vision of, hedonistic self-fulfillment, imposing your will on reality, having sex with lots of women.
Early on in 12 Rules, Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules, he has this amusing section where he has an evolutionary take on the behavior of lobsters and how what we can learn about our interrelationships from that. And And of course, I disagree with the evolution, disagree with the whole thing, and yet there was more valuable takeaway wisdom in that than what you get from someone who could sign the same statement of faith that I could.